there's this area of my house which I've never really used. I've only walked through it a few times, and it's called the kitchen. We're going to be utilizing the kitchen today to prepare the 5 best meals in RuneScape, which you can also make in real life. I have chosen the 5 best meals based on how nice they'd be in real life compared to how nice they look in the game. And with that said, let's get cooking. So first things first, we're going to need our ingredients. And I've got some ingredients here, but I'm going to need to get some more because there's no better place to get ingredients than the Gnome Stronghold. So for some of our dishes, we're going to need some things from the Gnome Stronghold. Don't worry, I will show you where you can get them. Just want to trade with these little gnomes. No, we're not going to buy the pre-mades. We're going to buy the raw ingredients. So we're going to need some batter tins. That's a given. We're going to need money. The gnomes, they just don't trust me. They don't want to put things on a tab, even though I'm always good for the cash. So we're going to need to get out some coins. 420k should be more than enough. And then we want to come back and speak to Hudo. Hudo, we're going to need a batter tin. Sure, we'll take a knife. Gnome spice maybe? Bit of gnome spice. You know what? I think that'll be enough. And with our ingredients, we're going to need to take them to somewhere to prepare these meals. I will of course be using Puke Point HQ, which is of course the kitchen in my player-owned house. Okay, so once we have our ingredients, this is where the fun can begin. Hang on a sec. I don't think that I am dressed appropriately for this. There we go, that's better. Now, I didn't have a chef's hat, so just ignore the party hat and imagine that that is in fact a chef's hat. So for our first meal, which if you're following along at home, yes, you can make this on your own. This is of course a very traditional Australian meal, something we as Australians eat on the reg. And it is of course a fried mushroom and onion bowl. Now, to make the fried mushroom and onion bowl, what we're going to need is a bitter cap mushroom, which if you're using this in real life, do not buy the bitter cap mushroom. Buy the normal mushrooms that you buy from Coles or wherever you do your shopping. Not the forest. Don't go getting forest mushrooms. And then we need an onion as well. Once again, just get it from a supermarket. Don't go finding random onions grown out in the wild unless you know what ones to... won't kill you, but I still don't think it's a good idea. But hey, it's a free country, do what you like. So what we're going to need to do is fry up these mushrooms. We're going to use the mushrooms on our fancy range because that's going to make them fancy fried mushrooms. Okay. No, what we're going to do is put the mushrooms in the bowl. Yes, so now we've got our sliced mushrooms in our bowl, and with the sliced mushrooms in the bowl, we can fry those on a fancy range. Well, okay, wait, scrap that. I don't think we want burnt mushrooms at this stage. Okay, and the next step, what you want to do is empty those burnt mushrooms, because that's not what we want. What we want is to have non-burnt mushrooms. So to get non-burnt mushrooms, we're going to put the mushrooms in the bowl. Then we're going to take our onion and place that in the bowl. We're going to take our onion and place that in another... Oh my god. Always when I'm doing something, Niles. We're going to take our onion and place that in another bowl. So now we have a bowl of chopped onion and a bowl of sliced mushrooms, and we're going to combine. No, what we're going to do is cook those chopped onions now. So you put the chopped onions on a fancy range, and then you're going to get fancy fried onions. Classic dish in Australia. But to make it even more Australian, what you're going to do is mix those fried onions with the sliced mushrooms. I'm going to need to consult the recipe book. Hang on a sec. Okay, so I was right earlier. You're going to take your sliced mushrooms and now cook them on the fancy range and you'll get fancy... Oh, god damn it. Okay, third time's the charm. Now, in real life, if you're making this, you're probably not going to burn the mushrooms because you can look at them and be like, oh, they're burnt. I'm going to stop burning the mushrooms. But in RuneScape, we don't have that luxury. So you're going to take your sliced mushrooms, cook them on the fancy range, and there we go, third time's the charm. You get fried mushrooms. Now, you want to be careful. You don't want to go snacking on those mushrooms just yet. You don't want to be gobbling up your mushrooms. What you want to do is carefully mix your mushrooms with your fried onions. And there we go. Our first superb dish. Mushroom and onions in a bowl. Look at it. Wow. Doesn't that look delicious? Now, if you're watching along at home, you can at this stage eat your fried onion and fried mushrooms, and you'll have a wonderful time. In Runescape, we don't have the luxury of toast, but you could put it on toast. But in Runescape, just like in real life, you can eat it on its own. So there's dish number 1, the mushroom and onion bowl. So for dish number 2, this is a very simple one. What we're going to need is a potato and a pot of butter, or if you're in the real world, you could use margarine, Nuttelex, whatever you like, whatever your butter substitute is. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your potato, once again, get it from the supermarket. Unless you grow potatoes, then get it from your potato patch. You're going to take the potato and cook it on the fancy range to make a fancy potato. So we're going to cook both our potatoes because we have one as backup in case we burn it. And now we have our baked potato, and that is going to mix very nicely with our pot of butter, or margarine if you're watching and you don't like butter. So we're going to mix it, and there we go. Potato with butter. Doesn't that look delicious? You're just going to score the potato, just cut it a little bit with a knife, and then you can drizzle that margarine or butter right in there. Spread it in with a knife, if that's what you like. It'll melt a bit because the potato should be hot. And there you have it. Dish number 2, the elegant, simple, refined potato with butter. Now, dish number 3 comes from the Gnome recipe book, and everyone loves the Gnome's special recipes. Now, what we're going to be making is called a vegetable batter. As you can see, there is a worm batter, a toad batter, and a fruit batter. I don't like worms, toads. Fruit batter sounds fine, but I think the vegetable batter is definitely the nicest. So what we're going to want to do is get our ingredients, which are, of course, the Jian dough, which, if you're watching in real life, can just be a normal dough made from wheat or not wheat if you don't like wheat. Equa leaves, which I'm not sure what their real life equivalent is. I'm going to say mint? Equa leaves could be basil. They might be basil, they might be mint. Just, life's a gamble, who cares? Throw anything in there. Next is dwellberries, which are a blueberry, and if you're watching along at home, you might have caught on that we do have blueberries in real life. There's tomatoes. I'm sure you know that tomatoes come from the supermarket. There's cheese. Cheese is disgusting, but you can get cheeses that aren't disgusting. So you can either leave that one in or replace it with something that's not revolting. And then we have cabbage. Once again, something that's absolutely vile, but put it in if you like, leave it out, it won't make much of a difference. But in RuneScape, you do have to stick it in. In order to whack all that together, what we're going to do is use our Jian dough with our batter tin. And now that gives us raw batter. And now you just want to go and add the rest of your ingredients into that batter tin. Shit. Make sure you do not eat the ingredients. Okay, so once your Jian dough is in the batter tin, now you want to bake it. You want to bake the batter in the oven bit of the range, not on the stove, just like you would in real life. And now we have the option to prepare a half-baked batter. And that means we're going to put all of our ingredients, we're just going to dice them up and throw them all in the batter tin. Oh, I forgot the onion. Damn it. Okay, so there's one more ingredient which I forgot, which is, of course, onion. Now, whenever you're making something, that's savory in real life, you want to put onions in it. Onions go with absolutely everything. That is a fact. So, to prepare our vegetable batter, we're going to want to dice up everything and just throw it all in the batter. And that should, with our cheese, don't worry about cheese. Cheese is gross. Cabbage, also gross. So we're going to put in some blueberries, some onions, and some tomatoes, which is, that sounds, aside from the blueberries, not too bad. And now we just need to garnish it with our equa leaves, which could be mint, they could be basil, they could be parsley. Who cares? Could be anything. Now you want to put the equa leaves, just drizzle them on top. Like it's Christmas, just sprinkle them over the top after we've baked it. So we want to bake it now. Baking it is the next step. So you want to put it in the oven to bake it. Now we have an unfinished batter. And to finish off our batter, we're going to want to put the equa leaves on top. And there we are. That final touch has finished our vegetable batter. And look at that. Doesn't that look divine? Wow. I would love to eat this. I would totally eat this right now. Onion, tomato, and some bread. Forget the other stuff. What a wonderful meal. Let's just admire this for a sec. Wonderful. Now, after all of that savory goodness, you might be thinking, I could do with a little dessert, a little sweetener to finish off the evening. And that's why, for our final dish, we are going to be making a chocolate bomb. Amazing. One of the best dishes in Runescape. Everyone loves a chocolate bomb. Now, to make a chocolate bomb, we're going to need some Jian dough, some chocolate bars, specifically 4 chocolate bars, 1 equa leaves, 2 pots of cream, which is a lot of cream, and some chocolate dust. If you're planning on making this along at home, you just want to get your dough out of wheat, whatever you make your dough from. Chocolate, you could use any kind of chocolate. I don't care. Use whatever you like. Equa leaves, in this case, I'm going to say mint. Let's use mint. Mint would go very well with a chocolate bomb. I don't think basil's the right choice this time. And for cream, well, you could use cream, or you could not use cream. You could get icing sugar and mix that with some lemon juice, and then you get sort of like an icing consistency, which will be, not quite super runny, but enough for you to spread over the top of this wonderful dish. But in RuneScape, we have to make do with pots of cream, which in real life, who likes cream? Cream's just fucking disgusting. So what we're going to do, we're going to mix our Jian dough with our gnome bowl mold. Now, with our raw gnome bowl, we're just going to want to fire this in the oven. And then we have a half-baked bowl. And with our half-baked bowl, what we're going to do is prepare it. And this is where the next step comes in. So for the chocolate bomb, we're going to add 4 chocolate bars and our equa leaves. And the chocolate bars, in real life, I would crush them up and put them all around the mold. But I think we're just wedging them in. We're just wedging 4 chocolate bars facing each other in the chocolate bomb and then just throwing the leaves all over the place. We're going to want to create that. And now, for the finishing touches, we're going to put our pots of cream onto our half-made bowl. And once we've done that, we're not going to put the cream on just yet. What we're going to do is cook it again to melt all of that chocolate and bring out the taste of those mint equa leaves. Now, for the final touches, we're going to want to put our pot of cream, our 2 pots of cream, onto our unfinished bowl and drizzle it with chocolate dust. You want to pour, as the instructions say, an obscene amount of cream and dust with chocolate. And, here we go. Doesn't that look amazing? I'm guessing all of the white in there is the cream, the little specks of the chocolate dust, and those big chocolatey bits are the chocolate bars now that they've melted over our lovely Jian dough mold. Oh, What a wonderful dish. So let's have one final look of the dishes that we made today. Our first dish was the mushroom and onion bowl, an Australian delicacy, a classic, something we all eat. Next, we had our potato with butter, a classic all around the world. You just get a potato, you either cook it in the oven or boil it or throw it in the microwave. Do whatever you like. You know how to prepare a potato. And then you just cover it with butter or margarine if you don't like butter. And then our third dish from today was the vegetable batter, which, you know, it's got cabbage, onion, tomatoes, some cheese. But if you make it in real life, I mean, you can mix it up as much as you like. I personally would just put the tomato and the onion. Tomato and onion taste great together. I don't think you need the cheese, but if you like cheese, you can put the cheese in. I wouldn't put it in the cabbage though. Cabbage is disgusting. No one likes cabbage. Next, we have the chocolate bomb, the delicacy, the dessert for today's meal. And the chocolate bomb, wow, it looks amazing. It looks almost like a chocolatey dragon fruit. And everyone knows dragon fruit is the best of the fruits. Wow. This is quite a feast. If you prepared this for me, I would be so impressed. I would be putting out like nothing else. And there you have it, the 4 best dishes that you could make in RuneScape, which you could also potentially make in real life if you changed just a few things. I hope you enjoyed watching the top 4 best dishes in RuneScape, coming along on this cooking adventure, an unprecedented look into cooking in RuneScape. I'll see you next time on the Dirty Harold Cooking Show. Now I'm just gonna take all of these and don't mind me, but I'm just gonna have a one-woman feast over in the dining room, which is of course devoid of any dining utilities.